Hey, Mitch, I don't know if you're like me on this one. Does the PGA Championship kind of catch up to you, or like catch you by surprise sometimes? Every year, I'm always like, I love all the majors, but then the PGA Championship, I'm like, I get so excited for the Masters and the U.S. Open and the Open Championship. Then I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, it's PGA Championship week. I'm like,
I'll tell you, there's only one thing that surprises me more than the PGA Championship, and that is that you started episode 2 with me on the PGA. Of all the things that we have to talk about, we're starting with the PGA Championship. Is that true? Is that
well, you and I are both big golf fans.
Oh,
well, do you think we would make it to episode 2? There was a lot of great feedback. Episode 1
was there?
God.
I didn't get any. It was terrible. It was terrible. All I got was leave him alone. Let him do his own thing. Why do you have to butt in on everybody else's podcast? That's
God, it's great to see Mitch again. God, it's great to hear Mitch again. God, I miss Mitch. Well, he's been around. It's so good. What a great storyteller. He's the best. Best ever. And I'm like, God, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, Jesus. So you were kind of getting worn down by the compliments that you may not make it to episode 2. It was
the same thing with like Sandmeyer and Stretch on the sports. God, great to hear those guys.
Oh, can I jump in on that?
Oh, they've responded. Oh, Sandmeyer responded.
Can I jump in on that? First of all, I that show that you guys did the other, and I still haven't been able to quite figure out whether it's unbelievably good and entertaining because I was in the building. Whether it's only entertaining to about 12 of us, or whether it's just flat out the most entertaining show that I've ever seen on a pod. I mean, that show that you guys did on Monday was so good. I have so much reaction to it. I don't even know where to begin, so I won't begin. I'll just say that the three of you guys are fantastic together. Fantastic.
Well, that's Sandmeyer's point. Sandmeyer's point was after the show was like, no one's gonna get it. We talked about people that no one they don't remember.
Well, I'll give you a hint as to why that apparently is not true.
Okay.
Yesterday I play in a seasonal, an annual golf thing where we have I have a best ball partner, and you play 64 teams, and you play a match, and if you win, you survive, you advance, so forth. So my partner over the last several years, in the middle of the round yesterday, at a very probably stressful point of the round yesterday, says to me, God, that thing with Puckett and Sandmeyer and Stretch was so damn funny. I said, was it funny? He goes, yeah, it was incredibly entertaining, incredible. And I said, well, that settles the point that maybe it's. But then he turns to me and he says, and my junior, getting ready to be senior son in high school was listening to it with me. He didn't know anybody. He didn't know who these people were, and he was laughing over it. So apparently, the three of you guys struck gold. It was great.
Do you remember it would have been better if you were there because you were it was your show. You guys were going through it. I remember the Schmitty Molly Ringwald thing. And it was so funny because I remember being in the building that day, and I remember this was the best point about Sandmeyer was I remember how horrified Matt Pops Gashk was about what he witnessed of just how he was just. Nothing surprises that guy, and he was horrified.
Well, and I don't know whether you want to go back over that story because people listening to this who haven't heard it don't know what we're really talking about.
But I think they'd like to hear your perspective.
Well, I will just say this, that Sandmeyer did a great job telling that story. After all of these years, for him to tell that story as accurately as I recall, all I would do, I wouldn't correct anything that he said. I would add a couple of things that might make it even funnier, that he might not remember until he hears it.
Okay.
Number one, I'll work backwards. It was one of the funniest things that we ever did on the morning show. And that's not saying a lot, but we were hysterical for weeks and weeks after. Now that happened, as Sandmeyer will tell you, if you remind him of this, That happened right at the end of the show. That whole shtick was happening like at 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. And Sandmeyer tells me the story, how at the end of the show at 10 o'clock, he's out going to the elevator in the office. And apparently Bob Rondo is coming in. And they're looking at each other, and Rondo is crying. He's laughing so hard. Apparently, Rondo had just driven in and listened to the whole thing, and he's getting off the elevator at like 10:05 or 10:03, coming in to like do Softy's show, who's doing the midday show, I think. He was going to do something with Softy. Sandmeyer's walking out, Rondo's walking in, and as Sandmeyer tells the story, the two of them are like, they didn't even say anything to one another. They were just laughing hysterically, and both of them knew exactly what they were laughing at. That's the one thing that I would add to the story. The second thing that Sandmeyer didn't mention, maybe because he didn't remember, but he might remember this. Part of the, the shtick, first of all, the shtick, the idea, there's no original idea in radio. The idea of Schmitty interviewing somebody kind of was ripped off from, do you remember the old Chris Farley Saturday Night Live thing? Of course. Where he would say to like Paul McCartney, remember when you did like, hey Jude, and then he'd go, oh, God, that was a stupid question.
It was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Remember the Beatles? That was awesome. Yeah.
So we had Schmitty, and I start thinking, geez, he's kind of like Farley in a way. Yeah. And if we put him in with like quasi-celebrities and have him interview them and then roll the tape on our show, it could be classic. It could be gold. So that's one thing. It was a ripoff of the Farley Saturday Night Live thing. The second thing I would say is there were a couple of rules. Schmitty was so excited over this idea. When I came to him with this idea, he was so excited. And I said to him, Schmitty, there's two rules. Rule number one is there's no editing of the interview. We're playing the interview from the time the interview subject walks into the room to the time the interview subject walks out. I want the introduction where you introduce who you are before you start rolling. I want everything. You've got to bring me everything, and nothing is edited. That was rule number one, which made it classic. Like when you listen to him at the beginning of the Molly Ringwald going, hi, I'm Jason Fischer. How are you? It was hysterical. So that was rule number one. Here was rule number two. Rule number two was Sandmeyer and I, and maybe whoever else was on the show at that time, we got to come up with one question that he had to ask. He had to find a way to ask this question. Mm-hmm. So like with Scott Hamilton, I think it was asking about questions about his sexuality. Okay, it was always the most embarrassing thing that Sandmeyer and I could come up, okay? And we would give it to Schmitty, and Schmitty would say, no, do I really have to? And yes, you really have to. So now if you get the picture, he comes back with the interview, and you could hear him trying to get to a position where he could ask the stupid question that Sandmeyer and I came up with. And the question that I recall coming up with Molly Ringwald, and here's what set the whole interview of just turned it upside down, was, if you recall, Molly Ringwald, who was this kind of wholesome personality from whatever it was when she came up. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
After the old Brat Pack. Yeah,
that's right. After that whole thing ended, she was still trying to do movies. And she wasn't getting a lot of parts. And she did a movie where she took off all her clothes, or she took off her clothes. It was a very kind of an embarrassing thing for her. She did like this movie that nobody went to see, where I think the only people who went to see it was because she took off like her top or something. It was very controversial at the time. And so we said to Schmitty, here's the question you have to ask if you're going to do the Ringwald interview. In person, in front of her, you have to ask her about taking off her clothes in that movie. And he said, okay, I got it. So now you're listening to the interview, and you can hear his mind working, trying to get into a position where he's comfortable enough to ask this one question. And apparently, when he asks this question, she starts giving him the cut sign during the interview. She's like doing this.
No, not going there.
We're not going. I'm not talking about that. Like, that's the most embarrassing thing in her career. And now Schmitty, this guy, and you can hear him start to like see her give him the cut sign. You can hear the whole thing happening. Even though you can't see it. He's stumbling like, he just starts. It was fantastic, and that's when she turns the interview around on him and starts asking him questions. Now, Sandmeyer, I think, gave her more credit in your show than I would have. I don't know that she really understood the joke. He said that she started to understand. Okay, this is a gag. They've got some douchebag interviewing me. This is a gag. I don't know that she ever knew that.
She was more about deflecting, trying to get it out.
When he started going down the path of the naked, the taking her clothes off in the movie, she was so humiliated. She's giving him the cut sign, and you can hear. So those are the amendments to the story that I would make. No changes, but just amendments to the story.
God, I just want to. That's when I wish there was video that was in that little auxiliary studio.
Do you take
notes? I want video, a picture of him with like a dog down on the ground sniffing her chair.
Yes. And what happened was Gask walked in after the interview and saw that. If you can remember.
Where's that interview? I mean, is that archive? That's like property of KJR.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to remember.
Is there any way we can just pay them so we can just listen to it?
No.
Why?
No, I'm not allowed to use any of that stuff.
Can we go into like a library and just listen to it? Not use it, but just listen to it.
We can do a show. We could do a Puck Sports.
God.
We could do a Puck Sports like party. That's not on the show, and I'll bring it. But here's another thing that I would bring that I think you should ask Sandmeyer about, because it's 1B in terms of Schmitty and funny on our show. 1B, and you might remember this too.
I think I know where you're going to go.
You do?
Yeah, where he got him shit faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During one of the years of the bigger dance, which I'm known for at KJ.
Sure, I recall.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the bigger dance.
I've never heard of it.
So
Angela.
So one of the years of the bigger dance, one of the years that Schmitty was doing the show, we decided we got to get Schmitty involved somehow. And the way we decided to do it was we were going to have him do the recaps, each day's recaps, like a 3.5 minute. He'd go in the studio with music and he would do the recap of the day. Okay. So Sandmeyer, in his infinite glory, one day decides he's going to take Schmitty out. Schmitty's been taking a beating from Mitch. And by the way, when he came with the McDonald's, to stretch his story, when he came into McDonald's, he wasn't 30 minutes late, okay? He was like 90 minutes late. He was like, we had trouble getting on the air. We couldn't even get on the air. For God's sake. Okay, that's what he brought to McDonald's. But Sandmeyer decided one day at 10 a.m. to take him out drinking at 10 a.m. right after. And I guess he's feeding him drinks at 10:30 somewhere in Ballard or Magnolia or somewhere where you guys live. And Schmitty says to himself, geez, I still have to cut the bigger dance recap. And so Schmitty didn't really know how to use the software.
Oh God.
Do you remember that?
Of course, because I used one of the clips on my show, like a little 5-second sound clip.
Do you remember that clip?
Yeah, he come on, Jason.
Right. So he comes back and it's like he's written the whole thing out. It's like a 2.5 minute thing. He's recapping the 4 games that were played that day, but he doesn't know how to stop, edit. He feels like he's got to read it through all the way 100%, or he starts at the beginning. And I just remember the beginning was, and then there were 4. Okay. And so he couldn't get through it. And he kept starting at the So this piece was like 12 minutes long of Schmitty drunk trying to get through the bigger dance. And it is so good. It is so good.
I think I have it somewhere. I mean, I know. I mean, I had it. I took all these little. Remember, we had the little soundboard, kind of what you had back in the day, but now we had a more digital thing where you'd hit a little soundboard. And I would play it all the time, and then there were four. But I think I took it with me before I left, because I wanted to play it again because I just loved it.
He was muttering to himself when he would make a mistake. He'd say, Jason.
he was giving himself pep talks. That was the best part of it. It was good. Yeah, he was a character. I mean, I'm talking about past tense, but
yeah,
we were wondering what he was up to now. We're trying to figure out what he's doing
in Massachusetts. I know that.
Okay. Yeah. So we started with the PGA Championship. We've ended here.
Is it over?
No, it's not over now. Well, okay, I'm just saying I started talking to you about the PGA Championship, and somehow we got on Schmitty.
That's Mitch not wanting to talk about the PGA.
I know.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's down on the list for golf. I don't get excited about it.
Did you get any reasonable requests for titling this show? If we're going to continue, I don't know if we're going to have a week 3 because, frankly, week 2. I gather is really not going all that well.
I haven't got anything good.
Neither have I.
Nothing good.
How about KJ Arntz? Did you get that one?
No, but I like that.
That's pretty good.
I actually kind of like
Arntz.
That. Yeah. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, that's the one I got.
That's the best one I've heard.
Have you figured out how to send me the video so I can put it on my Patreon?
I said, it's you. It's a user problem on your end. I figured it out.
It says 8 MPS. Please tell sender to send it in less than 8 MPS.
Do you think I know what that means? I have no idea what that means. I download the fucking video and I send it to you. I have no idea how it works.
Geez.
I can send you the YouTube clip. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Better way to send it to you.
I have a question for you.
Yeah. Did you get it up finally?
It's up there. It's up there.
Yeah, it finally went up there, right? You got it open.
Yeah, right. It took a while.
It did take a while.
It did take a while.
You're like my mom. When she sends me, it's not working, and then you send the picture, like on the cell phone picture with.
Well, you sent me a video that was not loading on Patreon, and it said, "Please have send the next one in less than 8 MPS." Whatever.
What does
that
MPS mean?
I don't know. But I have a question for you.
Yeah. What do you got?
When did the whole NFL videos for schedules start? Who started that? And does every team do a video release of their schedule, like a very irreverent?
Yeah.
Take shots at the opponents. Who was it that got pulled down the other day? Tennessee last night?
Who was it? It was the Dolphins, right? Because then they had Tyreek Hill get arrested.
It was, it was Indianapolis. It was Indianapolis.
Was it Indianapolis that had Hill getting arrested?
Yeah, Hill getting arrested.
Phenomenal. The best.
It was, but when did this start? You know these things. When?
I think it's one of two teams. I want to say it's either the Rams or the Chargers that started it. And something I'll put my money on. It's the Chargers that kind of started the whole thing. And then it's been
a big
like
thing now. Everybody does it now, right?
It's like the biggest thing. Like everybody loves it. Like it's like it's like people can't wait for this. It's like another thing the NFL has created. It's like on top of releasing the schedule now, like releasing the schedule secondary to what people are going to put out on social media. Like all of it. The NFL to me is just, it's amazing to me how they're able to do this. It's just, it's in the news all the time. Like I know the opponents are, and I really don't care when they play them.
It's funny because even going back before the video releases of the schedules, I can recall it's not that long ago where whether it's football, baseball, basketball organizations did tweets, it was always very sweet and friendly. You could never do anything that was irreverent. If you were one of the 32 NFL teams and you tweeted about an opponent, it was always very nice. Hey, it was nice playing you guys. That was a fun day. But somewhere along the line, somebody tried to dip their toe into, let's just take a shot at those guys. Yeah. And it was okay, and we laughed, and that started the whole. Now it's like everybody's fair game. Everybody's fair game.
So the Colts got in trouble for it. They had to take it down, right?
Yeah. Yes. But there wasn't just the arrest. You got to go. Have you seen it? I've seen it. The Minecraft thing. It's a Minecraft ripoff.
I know that's a mine. I have not seen the actual like what they did with Hill, other than what I just read that they showed. So it's based on what happened. Hill. It was going to the game last year, right?
There were like 4 or 5 like shots at other teams that were kind of vicious, and they hid behind something like they didn't have the rights from Microsoft. They apparently they sent out a release that said something like we are the rights to use the Minecraft we didn't do, we had, but we didn't have that right or whatever. But they were like it was very, whoever did it was drinking at the time, was having a couple of pops when they did it and thought, what the hell, let's just.
But it was it was the what they released was the Colts with a player, which was Hill, wearing a 10 jersey, swimming,
Coast Guard.
Stop by the Coast Guard.
Yeah. But that was just one of them. There were like 4 or 5 of them where they take shots at the
Did the Seahawks take a shot at anyone?
No, but I saw what Indianapolis did to the Seahawks.
What they do?
Remember, the Seahawks were on their schedule.
Yeah. What they do to the Seahawks?
I think they had 3 guys like Geno Smith and Minecraft characters, Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, and somebody else, and they blew up because they're not on the team anymore. And then 2 little guys, Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp, were left. The 3 big guys, 3 giant Minecraft characters, DK Metcalf and Geno Smith and somebody else, blow up. And then there's 2 itty bitty Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp.
No, it's supposed to be funny, isn't it? Yeah, like sports is supposed to be fun, so take shots at everyone. Yeah. You're right. Like it's changed, especially like the tweets like after a game when someone wins. Like there's some smart ass 24-year-old right out of college that's like takes a shot at like the Yankees or the Blue Jays or some shit like that. Yeah, I enjoy that. Did the Mariners take, like if I was the Mariners and one of these young like interns or PR or for the social media, I'd have been all over the Canada tariff thing, just the nonstop, just nonstop. Yeah, but I don't think they did anything.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even seen a Seahawks one. I'm sure there's a Seahawks one.
Yeah. Do you get into the schedule? I mean, you love it. I mean, do you get excited as everyone else gets excited for this stuff?
Well, what we used to do, because we were out of material by about year 4 of my 22-year run at KJR, we were completely out of material.
Pocket schedule.
So Dick Fain, God bless Dick Fain.
No one loves a pocket schedule more than Dick Fain.
When schedules come out, I think of one person. I think of Richard L. Fain the 23rd. And he just, like, he would not be on our show. He would walk off the set if we didn't predict records the morning after we did. Like if I didn't dedicate 30 minutes to Dick Fain predicting the record after the schedules came out, he would like cease to exist and cease doing the show. So we would do that. And it's funny because he got me into the rhythm of doing that. So last night when I saw it, I looked at it and I started looking at it and trying to figure out, is there anything to say with Puck or anybody else about the schedule? And it dawned on me that typically when these schedules come out for the Seahawks, we kind of know what the Seahawks are or isn't, what the Seahawks aren't, okay? And we can do it based on that. But this year, does anybody know what Sam Darnold's going to do for the Seattle Seahawks? It's impossible. Like, I don't know if Sam Darnold's going to be the 32nd best starting quarterback in the NFL or he's going to be the 12th best starting quarterback in the NFL. So how can you even look at anything right now and have any idea of what the Seahawks are going to be if you don't know what Sam Darnold's going to be?
That's what I love about this season, because it's either going to be a wild success and you're like, they made the right choice. God, they got Sam Darnold and my God, they got a quarterback of the future, and they did exactly right. They got rid of DK and all. Or it's an unmitigated disaster, which again, it's either got to be great or really, really bad. Nothing in the middle. We don't need anything in the middle.
Here's what I want to know. If it's an unmitigated disaster at the quarterback position, and let's say by week 6 or week 7, they've got to consider giving somebody else a shot because Sam Darnold is just the shits, okay? We all hope that that's not going to happen.
Sure.
Who are they going to at that point? Let's say it's later on in the season and the season's done, as opposed to week 6 where you still can make something of the season. Let's say it's like week 13 and they're like 4-8 and they're going nowhere. And so Drew Locke gives them a better chance of winning games, but the other guy is more interesting to see out there.
You have to go with Milroe on that point. You'd have to.
Don't you think?
No way you're going with Drew Locke. I mean, what do you think Drew Locke was thinking when he's hearing Mike McDonald on draft night going, yeah, Sam's going to get 90% of the snaps. The other 10 we're going to give to Milroe. Locke's like, hey, man, I just signed here. I thought I was the backup. Like, what are we doing here? What's going on? Yeah, of course you'd give it to Milroe.
How about in week 6?
With the season still in the balance, I think they probably go to Locke for a couple of games and then like, okay, we got to
because we know the depth chart's going to come out and it's going to be Darnold, Locke, Milroe, right? Milroe will be the third string quarterback when the opening day depth chart comes.
Now, will they have? Okay, I got to remember the rules on this one. Will they have him active?
I don't know. Yeah, well, yeah, of course, because he's going to play.
Will they have Milroe active for all these games?
Well, I think Milroe's going to be active because he's going to play.
Yeah, that's right, because they're going to use him in those little like.
They're going to use him, so maybe all 3 of them have to be. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know.
They never do that, right? Most teams don't do that anymore.
No, 2 are active on game day. Typically.
Yeah. So they're going to have to, if they want to use them. Yeah, they're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
I'd be interesting. Like, I have no. I'm with you. I have no idea how that season's going to go. I mean, are you going to get Sam Darnold for the 14 games that you had? Are you going to get him the last 2 or 3 where he was just terrible?
How about the first 5 years of his career?
Yeah, But I also look at it and go, they didn't. Yeah, they're spending some money on him, of course, but it's not. What is it? A 1-year deal? In reality,
of course.
So I don't know.
He comes and goes. You mean it harkens back to the Matt Flynn era? Remember how excited? Remember the Matt Flynn? Remember how good Matt Flynn was in that playoff game? Where late in the season he came in and he threw for like 500 yards in a game, like in the cold in Green Bay, and everybody was like, "Okay, that guy could start somewhere."
Yeah.
And
you know what? The Seahawks, they did it once with Matt Hasselbeck. They're going to do it again with Matt Flynn. And then fucking Matt, he comes in and he's terrible. And Russell Wilson. Well, remember, and then I go back and think about that a lot because there's always, everyone talks about the Russell Wilson game, I think, in Kansas City, where that was, I believe it was the preseason game where he was just electric and everyone's like, all right, it's his job. But if you remember, I think it was the week before, they're playing Denver and Denver. And Matt Flynn hits Terrell Owens deep down the middle.
Oh.
And Terrell Owens drops the ball.
Oh, I remember him dropping the ball. Was that in the preseason game?
Preseason game. And had I wonder what history looks like. Had he caught that, all of a sudden Matt Flynn looks great. And I think in that game too, Wilson runs the similar route or throws a similar pass to Jermaine Kearse, I believe. And Kearse catches it. And you're like, whoa, they executed it. And then Matt Flynn and Terrell Owens did not. And I always think, Terrell Owens caught that, goes in, does Matt Flynn become the starter?
Maybe Terrell Owens had money on.
Yeah. Maybe he did. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I dropped it on purpose.
None of us think that's what's going to happen this year, right? I mean, does anyone think that Milroe's going to come in and light everything on fire in the preseason? I guess you never say never, but
I think there's always a chance, but it's a very, very slight chance.
Yeah.
I guess people think that Russell Wilson, when he came out of college, was a much more proven, ready thrower of the football.
Right.
It just was a question about his size and then Milroe. Milroe is not, as they say, as sophisticated a passer as Russell Wilson was when he came out of.
Okay, who'd you bet on this week? Who'd you put money on?
We talk about PGA?
Yeah.
I didn't because I'm not in Arizona. I'm in Washington. I can't bet in Washington. I have no money.
You can drive to one of them.
No, I'm not driving anywhere, for God's sake.
Just go drive to one of them, put some money down.
Look, I don't drive anywhere except the golf course, okay? I'm either going to the golf course or coming back. I'm not driving anywhere. So, I didn't drive anywhere. I don't have – do you have money on the
You're PGA like, you know what league I'm still in?
Really?
Still in it. Oh, yeah.
Does it still exist?
It still exists. It sure does.
God.
It sure
Can I get a
does.
commission or something out of that?
You need something. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
How you doing?
I am like in 10th place. I picked Rory to win the Masters, so that really helped. Yeah. I went with heart. It was all heart, and thank God it came through.
So
I got Scheffler this week, so I pulled Scheffler back, so I'm using Scheffler.
I'll just give you this. I'm in a Calcutta. Do you know a Calcutta?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I'm in a big Calcutta at the beginning of the year before the year starts. I'm in a huge Calcutta. There's tons of money in it, and you bid on players, and you get the player for the entire season. So I have a partner, a fairly famous partner who will remain unnamed.
It's not the former Husky head coach who got in trouble.
No, not him. Not him.
Okay.
But maybe a third cousin once removed, somebody similar.
Okay.
So I have a somewhat famous name who's my partner, and we went in and we spent a lot of money on 5 guys.
Okay.
We bought 5 guys for the season.
Is there a limit to how many you can buy?
No, you can buy as many as you want.
Okay.
We bought 5 guys. We spent a ton of money on 5 guys. Okay. And the way it works is very simple. You only get money back if they win.
Yeah.
The winner of each tournament, the 25, 30 tournaments, all of them, if you win, you get money back. Okay. And if you win a major, you get big money back. So much money if you win a major that had we won the Masters, let's just say, or the PGA this week, we would get more money back than we paid for all 5 guys.
Jesus.
We would already be in the positive. We had Justin Rose.
Okay, so now I know how you're going to answer this. And actually, because I don't know if you're a Rory fan.
Yeah, I am a Rory fan. I love Rory. Yeah.
So obviously you want Rose to win because it's money. I mean, obviously. But then there's that pull of the story. Is there no pull of the story?
Yes, there's plenty pull of the story. But if you're asking me what weighs more,
of course.
Come on. I mean, we bought Justin Rose for the season, and we bought Corey Connors for the season.
Oh, good one.
And so going into the final round of the Masters, if you recall, Corey Connors was only a couple of shots.
Sure.
In fact, Justin Rose had that bad Saturday, and he was way back.
Yeah.
And then, do you realize, I don't know that people realize, do you know how many birdies Justin Rose made in the final round of the Masters? If I asked you right now, can you?
9.
10. Yeah. Justin Rose.
He was on fire.
Made 10 freaking birdies in the final round.
What was your rationale before the season to buy him?
He was we were buying guys that we could get a value on.
Okay.
We didn't buy any of the big ones. So we've got like Heath, whatever he is. Okay. We've got Aaron Rye, if you know who he is.
Sure. Aaron Rye I don't like because he wears 2 gloves. It's stupid.
But Aaron Rye has the iron covers.
Yeah,
because his father couldn't afford the clubs that he bought. So we got Aaron Rye. I know you have to go. Aaron Rye, Justin Rose, Heath, somebody, Corey Connors, and Burns, not George Burns.
Sam
Burns. Those are the 5 guys we haven't made one. Absolutely nothing.
Oh my God! But you poor Justin Rose. Oh God, he played lights out.
Puck. We're talking like 10 grand if he wins. And he's in the playoff. And the second shot in the playoff hole of Justin Rose was really good, wasn't he? From 30 yards, he was 30 yards behind McIlroy, and he hits it to about 18 feet. That was a good shot.
I have never in my life, without knowing the person or being my favorite team, Seahawks, Sonics, Mariners, had that much anxiety and all of my emotions into that day than that Sunday. I mean from the first tee shot where he's all over the place. And I'm screaming. My dogs are leaving. No one's paying attention. I was so invested.
And it's one day after he goes birdie eagle on Saturday to start the round. He goes birdie eagle and turns the whole thing around. And I just will say this, that Justin Rose has been credited since the Masters with being such a gentleman and a nice guy to Rory. Everybody's been writing stories about him. That's bullshit. I want him to be a little bit more angry. He caught This, I shouldn't say he. This thing cost me and my very famous partner a lot of money, and I'd wish that he wasn't so pleasant to Rory McIlroy.
I'm with you. All right, that's it for. Are we going to KJ or Arntz?
KJ Arntz? I don't know.
KJ Arntz.
I don't know.
I like it. So for people that don't realize that, now this is live, right? We're playing it during the live show.
Yes.
But when the live show is over, this goes away. This goes away. So you got to sign up for Mitch Unfiltered or Puck's Posse.
So if you came in the middle and you missed the first part, which was the best part,
yes,
and you want to see the thing in its entirety, you have one choice we know about, which is going to your patron. And the other choice may happen if you can figure out what 8 MPS is. You might be able to get it on our show.
Patreon/Mitchy the Kid. Mitch Unfiltered on Patreon.
Is that it now?
Or Puck's Posse at pucksports.com. Sign up there. You're the best.
Wait a second. I have a question before you go.
Yeah.
I heard on the Sports Pit over and over again, we got to get Mitch on because he'd like to talk to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they would. Now, I would. Do you want to do it just the three of you?
No, I want you involved.
Really?
You're my security blanket. I feel like they're going to attack me. I haven't spoken to them in a long time, and I'm just afraid of those two guys.
Okay.
And if I've got you, you're like base. I can go to base and be safe.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll figure it out. We always got to work around Stretch's schedule and whatever he's got going on. Fucking Jesus. It's always something. It's always something. It's me and Sandmeyer good. It's always Stretch. All right, Mitchy. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.